everybody. Don Pablo here. Pablo Escobar, the fictional character from Netflix originals Narcos. I'm here to say that it's the Generic Lecture Podcast. Welcome. Hello, everybody.
Cocaine is great.
Cocaine is like pretty fire, bro.
You're the reason I drink. You know that, right?
Good.
The shoe is back.
You motherfucker. Everybody
Snorting coke.
Welcome to the podcast where we make disgusting noises into the microphone.
Are we actually starting?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
It's begun. So we're all here today. This is everybody.
Yay.
I'm Marcus. This is Matt. It's his first time in one of these in-person ones. Because we're pretty much all vaccinated, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Other than
Except this loser.
It's what he looks like.
I've literally been at home for like 6 months dying from classes.
But the mask thing is lifted, so that's good. Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
May is here. That's May. John and the Rajesh. So, John, our Asian John, our resident white supremacist.
Yes.
Yes.
And Rajesh Cooper Pali.
Our other white supremacist.
I mean, my brother and I were just talking about how you're white supremacist because every time you play any game in World War II, you play Germany, and then we asked you what team you play in your Civil War games, and you said the Confederacy.
I think your brother said something really, really funny where he said that if it wasn't for the fact that I was Asian, if he heard anything else I would have said and he didn't know I was Asian, he would think that would be the most sus thing ever.
He wouldn't have been friends with you at all.
Yeah.
He'd been like, oh, this kid doesn't
get
like...
a lot of red flags.
There's certain shades that this kid doesn't like.
To be fair, your brother can be a little, I don't know. You know, he hated me. He hated me growing up.
I don't know. Who didn't?
That's actually
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's
I
a really good
remember
question.
hating you, Raj.
I remember hating you at some point too.
Yeah, you did. You did
Yeah.
hate me.
It was only until college that I realized that you're an actual normal human being and not some kind of demon spawn.
You even annoyed me at one point, and that's pretty difficult.
No, that was only because of Sebastian.
That's true.
And that wasn't even my fault. They didn't even do anything.
That's true.
So, it doesn't count.
Yeah. I'm probably the only person that didn't hate you at one point in your life.
Yeah.
I'm all you have.
I mean,
You
That's
need
me.
me.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
And me.
Matt too.
I never hated you.
Alright, there we go. We got two
Yeah, you got
people.
two people.
Yeah.
Two people on Team Raj.
And again, I really liked Matt when we were really young. And I first met Matt. I thought he was like the greatest thing ever, the greatest one of your friends.
Some sliced bread.
Yeah, I thought all the rest of your friends were like shit, but Matt was amazing.
Matt, you were not shit.
Yeah, you were not shit.
It's because you did cool astronomy stuff.
Yeah,
And
basically.
physics.
Yeah, and he liked talking about it. It was just like, this is great.
Anything cool with astronomy going on recently?
Yes, a few months ago there was a conjunction of the Jupiter and Saturn. They were very, very close together. First time they've been close for about almost 1,000 years.
Jesus.
I'd ship it.
Yeah. Fun. Did you get to look at it through the good old telescope?
Yep, I was able to see them both. This happened in about November.
Nice.
Yeah. There was also the Mars opposition around that same time, too.
What's the Mars opposition?
That's
we're gonna
when...
go and take them over. Is that what we're gonna do?
Good old Martian opposition.
Damn rebels.
Rebels go.
Mars was the closest to Earth in its orbit. It happens about every 18 to 24 months.
Oh, so we need to wait a decent amount of time before we can colonize Mars next. Dang.
Yeah, that's one of the major problems.
I don't think
Mars
that's
to
the
solve.
only problem with colonizing Mars.
No, one of the major ones. If you're going there and it takes about 6 or so months to get there, you're not really going to be able to stay there very long before you need to head back. To be able to get back to Earth on time.
Yeah.
You most likely would have to stay there for like 18 months. So it's 6 months plus another 6 months to go back, a year plus a year and a half. You're going to be in space for like 2.5 years. We have no idea what's going to happen to the human body and staying in basically zero G for 2.5 years.
And things are gonna break.
Yes.
No, nothing ever breaks in
No,
space.
nothing ever breaks in space. No,
No.
never.
Space is a beautiful place where you get to float around like a little mushroom.
Things actually do last a lot longer than we expect them to in space. like non-organic stuff.
Yeah, non-organic stuff.
Because like the Hubble telescope is still in operation, and that shit was supposed to break down like a long ass time ago at this point.
It did fucking break when it initially went out.
Yeah,
It was the mirror was bent in the wrong fashion. They had to send up astronauts up there to correct it.
Did you know that fish can float or can swim through space?
yeah, they're actually like one of the best adapted animals to live in space. Apparently,
Holy
Love it.
shit.
So what I'm hearing is we should genetically modify a fish to be an astronaut or
Yes.
something.
I can just
Or
imagine them in
turn
like,
humans
space
into
suits.
fish.
Yes, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Genetically modify humans, turn them into fish.
Yeah.
That sounds lit.
American Dad.
Wait, they actually put a fish in space? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't think
No.
so. Did
They've
they?
put a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
they-
in
they-
space.
Actually,
they
they
put-
probably have yeeted a lot of stuff into space.
They've absolutely put
Yeah.
a fish in space. That was one of the first things we put.
They
Actually,
put birds
yeah.
in space. Really fucked them up.
Yeah,
Oh my
like,
god.
Yeah.
they were test dummies. What are we gonna do? Shoot a person in there?
Did they put a snake in space?
Of course, I'm assuming.
That's so dope.
Probably
It's like-
everything.
They probably put a lot of shit in space.
Yeah.
We put water bears in space.
Wait, what's a water bear?
It's like,
They're also called tardigrades. They're one of the most most hardy life forms on Earth. They're microscopic.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
survived, I think, pretty much every major mass extinction on the planet since our 4.5 billion year history. The
Wait,
one that killed
the Earth has been around
dinosaurs.
for 4.5 billion years.
No.
No, it hasn't. Absolutely not. It's only been around for a few thousand when God created it.
Oh god damn it. I
And
knew
a
that
young
was
Earther
coming.
here.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Jesus Christ.
No, we're not talking about Jesus Christ.
We should be. What do you think I drink this stuff?
I met a flat earther at one point. That was a pretty weird experience. It was pretty out there. No, he was a young earther, not a flat earther. I have met a flat earther too, but the young earther was really weird because he was a physicist.
oh no.
Yeah, and he also believed that dinosaurs are real and they're not like a hoax. He just thought that dinosaurs and humans like lived at the same time,
Yeah.
and that
Wait,
carbon.
this sounds like.
What's up?
Sounds like.
It's not Anthony,
There's a
but
lot of people
He's
like
also
that.
young Earth. Yeah,
There's a lot of creationists that try to tie the science with everything.
and that it's like the carbon dating was just
Yeah, they
inaccurate.
did it wrong.
Yeah.
They do it wrong. That's it.
Yeah, well, there's a not that they did it wrong, but there's like a range, an error range in carbon dating, which is probably true. I'm sure there's
Yeah, there
error,
is.
but I doubt that it's like millions of years of error.
Yeah, they take that logical leap, right, of
But-
saying that there might be errors to then say creationism.
You said that it's
Thousands
only
of years.
it's only accurate to about like 1,000 to 2,000 years, and after that, it's like increasingly more inaccurate or something.
I mean, probably.
It also
But
depends on
this is
which
weird.
one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and
Like
how-
carbon, or I think there's some uranium isotopes that are good for billions of years. Carbon good for on the order of thousands of years.
Well, that's just clearly physicists' misunderstanding, and he's gonna go prove them wrong.
Oh yeah,
Like you
like
are gonna,
Anthony. Yeah,
and you're gonna go disprove geometry.
yeah. That didn't work out at all. That did not work out at all. I learned very quickly. A 2-minute talk with an advisor quickly told me, "All right, you're not proving this shit wrong," which made me very, very depressed for all of 10 seconds.
Did you just go and learn the other geometry?
I didn't learn any geometry.
Glory.
I didn't study any. When I learned that, I was like, all right, so I'm never taking geometry. Fantastic. I don't need to. Apparently geometry is one of the easier classes you can take too at a collegiate level. So, like, I just kind of went with the analysis and the abstract algebras and called it a day.
Just good times.
Yeah, and the probability theory, which I'm doing again.
So who haven't I talked to for a while?
Me.
I haven't talked to you or you for a
Oh.
while. You finished your first year of grad school.
Yay.
Yeah. Heard that was fun.
Oh, shit.
Yeah?
Well, okay, so at the very end, I had 2 tests, 1 paper, grading, and then like 2 assignments, and 2 of them were due during finals week. Like, they were just like, oh yeah, by the way, you have 1 finalist. My probability theory guy was like, all right, you have 1 more assignment. It's literally on Wednesday. Your test is on Saturday. Have fun.
Nice.
So that was great. And then just before on Monday, like when I was like preparing it and trying to like map out what I would do on each day and stuff, my advisor like sends me, like, I found out through the U of M, it's like, oh, there's a summer fellowship opportunity. And then like, oh, okay, I'm gonna probably do it. I'll I'll do it after finals week. No, my advisor talks to me the next day. He's like, hey, by the way, you're signing up for this, right? Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's like, yeah, I expect a rough draft in like 2 days. It's like, wait, what?
It's finals week. Though.
Yeah, it was just like, it's finals. Dude, they're giving they're like accepting it as soon as possible, and they want it as soon as possible. They're accepting right away. I want a fucking application in like 2 days. You're gonna do it, right? Right? Great, fantastic. Here's what you should be doing. This is how you should do it. Have fun. And then
if you could get that proposal in, that'd be great.
The worst part about it, the worst part about all of this was, so it's the department, the psychology department that grants the fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the quant department, which I'm a part of. So the quant department is all about, the statistics, all that stuff. The rest of the Department of Psychology doesn't give a shit about the statistics. They just care about the applications. So it was like, okay, so what you don't want to do is you don't want to emphasize any of the statistics. Just say you're going to use novel approaches that no one else does. You really need to emphasize the other stuff. What's the other stuff? It's conspiracy theory. That's what I'm going to be doing my research on. That's the data set I'm using. So basically in a day, I had to become an expert on conspiracy theories to write enough to write a grant proposal.
What is the research on conspiracy theories?
It's using the generic conspiracy database or data set, whatever. It's on Open Psychometrics, but it's one of like 2 conspiracy theory psychometric scales that are
like. What's the objective of the study?
Oh, I'm getting that. Okay. So it's using that scale, and that's like one of 2 good psychometric scales. And all the conspiracy theories have only been looked at till 1994. That's when we kind of started. And most of the research has been done, like 60 or 70%, was done within the last decade. So it's like nowhere. No one's done anything with the fucking field, which is kind of weird now that you think about it.
Because they're such a big phenomenon.
Yeah, they're a very big phenomenon.
That's been around for literally ever, and like the role that propaganda plays in them.
Yeah.
I bet it's pretty fascinating, actually.
No, there's an amusing thing where they get stronger as time goes on. Mm-hmm. More people believe in them as time goes on.
Well,
so
it's because if you hear something enough, you start to believe it. It's probably an offshoot of that principle.
It could be, but we know for a fact that as time goes on, more and more people are believing that John F. Kennedy was killed by
the CIA.
Not Lee Harvey Oswald acting alone.
The CIA, yeah, definitely, for sure.
I mean, I'm kind of on board with that.
And Bush did 9/11. Why not?
Yeah, so,
aliens, there is an intergalactic federation that we are currently in contact with. I'm sold. Let's go.
So the research is basically taking the final scores from all these people who've done that scale and basically seeing what variables predict it using, like, penalized regression techniques.
So is it like susceptibility to believing conspiracy theories?
Yeah, basically. Cool. Yeah, all the variables that go along with it and using, like, a bunch of penalized regression techniques, because ordinary least squares regression is got a lot of problems. So fuck that.
How easy it is to believe them. A lot of them, man.
Dude, some of them are real easy to believe. Some of them, like I took the scale. I got a 3 out of 5. I got like a 2.9 or something.
I'd probably be like a 4 or something.
Well, some of it's very difficult to believe. Some of it's like, all right, do you believe in the Illuminati? Okay, maybe not. Do you believe in like the government's covering up aliens? Probably not. But do you believe in like the government maleficence, which is the government is committing crimes against their citizenry? I mean, yeah, they're not even hiding it at this point. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's not even really a conspiracy.
No, it's not. It's just they're kind of doing it. But yeah, so you can get.
I mean, they're legalized crimes.
Yeah, but they still don't have your best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing over the summer. That's my fellowship. So I got it actually.
Nice. Congratulations.
I became an expert in 2. When did you become an expert? Yesterday.
Nice.
It was literally the meme. I literally did that. And then the next day, I took my probability theory test, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's how you do it, though. That's college.
First year is rough in grad school. It's like the worst because you're taking 3 courses along with all your other shit. It's just rough. So.
How about you? What have you been up to?
I'm looking for a new car. Need it. My job is going to require me to come to the office soon.
Not until August.
Oh, really? I thought it was like June.
They're letting people come back in June or July, but they're not requiring it. They say until August. It might be later than that. Just the logistics of going back in.
Are you going in?
No. They're like, we're taking volunteers. And I was like, no. I'm good because it's like it's honestly not even a bad commute for me. It's only 20 minutes away.
My brother,
Right.
for quite a while, his company was also telling him, "Hey, so you guys can like come back to the office now." And this everyone's like, "No."
Why?
Yeah.
Like, what's the motivation? Especially if honestly, we're probably doing more work at home. I would not be surprised if we're more effective working from home.
You guys
In
are.
all honesty.
I want to go back. I want to go back to
Well,
campus.
school's different. There's an element of group effort in school, you know?
It actually wasn't so bad for me.
Motivation.
It was worse for others because I did spend my entire undergrad just doing my own shit on my own, like my degree
It
completely
killed
alone.
me, dude. It killed me when because I had such a tight study group.
Yeah.
Like, we had been a study group for years. Like, actually, I had the same study group every year for, like, 3 or 4 years, and we were so tight. And then it was like, you're online now.
Well,
How are we going to do a study group? I guess we could try Zoom.
doesn't work. out.
Nobody wants to do that. So,
No, it's awful.
just fell apart, and yeah, it was brutal.
You didn't try to do Discord?
Not same problem.
It's just not the same because we had the whiteboard, you know? The glorious whiteboard.
Yeah,
And you don't have the whiteboard, it's just the magic's gone.
it really.
You don't
is.
feel like Tony Stark anymore.
I was I was fine. Like
Yeah.
I legit never had a study group. I had one study group for one class in undergrad my sophomore year. That's it. Like the other study groups I've been in was basically me leading them, so those don't really count as a study group when I'm giving the answers to the group.
So you were a tutor.
No. When I was not tutoring, when I was taking a class.
Oh.
Tutor, I didn't. I never gave the answers when I was a tutor. I taught.
Wait, so you were in a study group in which you told them all the stuff?
Yeah, it was like I'm referencing Psych 101 where we were like doing an assignment together, and like I basically tell them what the fuck the answers were because like I actually knew what the hell I was doing.
Mhm.
And then one girl decided to question me on the difference between a dependent and independent variable and which one was which. Guess who was right? Me or the animal science major who said she's done it 3 or 4 times and she really knows it down. Guess
So
who was
which
right?
one's dependent? Which one's independent?
The dependent variable is the y variable. The independent variable is the x variable. I was right.
Makes sense.
Dumbass.
That was real fancy stuff right there.
It's not.
Good old.
I like calling it the regressor variable. I've taken to calling it that now.
I love causation and correlation too. It fucks people up so bad.
They say everyone says, "Oh yeah, I know better. It's just a meme," and then they do it. I'm just like, God damn it, Jesus Christ, no! Why?
So easy to fall into.
It's so super easy.
Good study group stories.
I actually never really wanted to study group.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. No study groups. Hey John, did you ever use a study group?
No.
Yeah, join the club.
So I'm just the weird extrovert in here.
Yeah,
I was too socially awkward to have a study group.
I basically deliberately socially isolated myself.
He
Yeah.
did do
Yeah.
that. Yes.
I practically forced one of my best friends into a study group during college.
Look at you, Mr.
Like,
Extrovert.
she kept on being like, oh no, like I'll figure it out, and then I just kept asking if she wanted to be in a study group. And eventually, she was like, okay, fine.
Well, basically,
She's
all
like, come over, we already have all the answers. We just need to like
Figure them out.
teach you.
Yeah.
well, all my tests were just open notes, so it's like, why have a study group?
Oh, those can be the worst.
Had
The
better
worst
notes.
test I've ever had was
Did
open
they
note,
better
open
notes?
everything.
Open everything tests.
Sometimes it can fuck you up.
For some reason in my department, it was still easy. It just made it even easier because they didn't change their exams, and there were previous exams in circulation. So it was literally they had the same questions with the numbers changed, and you could just it was open notes. So if you got a previous exam, it was literally
An easy A.
It
That
was,
was-
yeah every time.
That was not the one time I had an open note. It was at Iowa State my senior year. It was like the last semester. So okay, it's over Zoom. I can't control anything. So you know what? Open note, open anything. You can use the internet, whatever. Because you're gonna need to. Because these questions are so fucking hard that you're not even gonna know what's going on. You basically who could find the answer on the internet or find something kind of close was the name of the game. It was such a rough exam.
We had some classes that weren't open notes or whatever, and the averages in those classes all of a sudden dropped to like 30% rather than 100%.
30?
Oh yeah, we had some brutal ass classes. Either teachers did one of two things. Either they made the class dummy easy, so then they wouldn't need to worry about grading, and they would just give everyone A's. Or they made it dummy hard, so then they
didn't have to worry about grading. You just marked everything wrong.
Yeah. Pretty much. Because there's no partial credit. The dummy hard classes were always no partial credit.
That's so stupid.
They'd have like 3-part questions, and if you got part A right, you were SOL.
Yeah, it's just over.
Yep. It's like good times, good times. I had a friend that literally their process was perfect, but in one of the steps, a Z magically became a 2, or a 2 became a Z.
Mm-hmm.
Entire question wrong. Entire 20 points of a 100-point test wrong. 20% of their grade, gonzo.
That's messed up.
Because a Z became a 2, or the other way around, in their work. And you could see the step. It was like literally, you could see the steps because she showed all of her work. I was like,
that's so depressing.
That, sir, is bullshit. Because she understands the concept perfectly.
I've never had that. Ever, on any math test I've ever had, any test I've ever taken for mathematics.
My class
never had that.
Like, he literally just looked at the answer and was like, it's right or it's wrong, and everything's gone. He doesn't look at the work.
My
What a
God.
Which
lazy bastard.
Flies in the face of all of my physics courses, because in physics, they're like, show me the work. I really don't care about the answer.
Yeah,
the answer
the
could
work.
be anything.
Yeah, the work is, if you got the right work or you had the right idea, that's the key.
Well, that's why I loved physics so much, and why I'm like, damn, when I go back for my PhD, like, I want to do physics.
Yeah, you could easily do that. Just take some more physics classes.
Mhm.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going to take probability 3 like 4 times.
Physics GRE is scary, though.
You don't have to go for a physics PhD. You can go for an electrical engineering PhD and take physics classes.
That's true. And just do the more physics route.
And do the more physics. Exactly. Yeah.
And I'll learn the good professors, too.
Yeah.
I learned the good professors in my school. By my last couple years, I was like, I knew who I wanted to take from and who I didn't. Because there were some decent teachers in my department. They were also the easy A professors, but at least they actually wanted you to learn. If you didn't learn, you'd still get an A. But they did want you to learn at least. The F professors just didn't give a shit.
I had a professor who really gave a shit, but he gave hard as hell exams. He came in the day after our first exam, and he was like, "Oh, this was in real analysis," and he was just like, "You guys got the average was a fucking 40%. Guys, I am so proud of you. You guys did so well." 25% of it, by the way, was on pure definitions. If you just knew the definitions like that he posted,
That's brutal.
25% right there. You just had to get a 15% elsewhere, and he was just like, "Goddamn, nice job, man.
Beautiful.
Nice job." Then on calculus, he came in and was raging like, "You guys got a 30%. You guys."
I'm actually
Just get-
terrible at memorization. So the definitions probably would have killed me.
Pure math would kill you. Because it's like, dude, I went into tests and memorized like 50 different theorems.
Mhm.
Easy. I had like 50 different theorems all memorized verbatim.
That's another thing I like about physics. Pretty much everything's derived after, like, you need to memorize a few things. And everything kind of just falls out of those few things you memorize. You can rederive the more complicated shit.
Well, you could prove that theorem, but do you want to prove that theorem? Because that could take a solid hour to prove it. And if you know what you're doing, and it's like, okay, you can either memorize the thing or you can try and prove it. And proving it is a slog, so...
That's
have
why I
fun.
think I'd have trouble in higher level physics as well. Because they expect you to just make those leaps, and I want to show the steps.
Yeah.
Because I need to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not memorizing Maxwell's equations if I can just, make
Derive it. Yeah. Eventually, it's just there's too much and it's too complicated that eventually it's just, okay, I have to...
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to know that, okay, here is the proof. I've seen it. I kind of sort of know how it works, but I just haven't memorized at this point.
Yeah. That's what I need to work on.
I am too drunk to know what you guys are talking about.
You're gonzo.
Yeah,
I'm getting pretty gonzo too.
I was gonzo like before the podcast started.
That's the
I think I
goal.
was gone
So, like, holy
before
shit.
you even showed up at my house, dude.
Yeah, I know you were. You're
Yeah.
just fucking dying. I
Yeah.
look over at John. He's just like...
Smashed casting is the only kind of casting.
I'm sorry,
that's what
man.
saying.
Why can't you have a good
Casting.
sleep schedule?
I completely fucked my sleep schedule.
We're splitting the conversation. Regroup.
Regrouping.
Why is John's sleep schedule shit? Let's all shame him for that.
John,
I
what is your
apologize.
sleep schedule? Tell me.
Shame.
Okay, I will tell you when I slept today and when I woke up. Are you ready?
Go.
Okay.
I did not sleep.
I haven't pulled an all-nighter literally for years at this point. I'm not sure I could anymore.
Yesterday, I can tell you when I slept yesterday. I slept, like I told Raj, I YouTube until my laptop runs out of battery. But I got a new laptop recently. Very good battery. So like
shit performance,
so
but
like
good battery.
So like I'll call it a day at like maybe 10 p.m. telling myself I will fix my sleep schedule.
No, you won't.
And then I will bring my laptop over to my bed and YouTube because usually it's like an hour and a half. Done. I can black out. That's like my ritual was YouTubing until my laptop blacked out. But now my new laptop, like a solid 7-6 hours is the battery.
Oh, no.
So I'm
The
while
sun's coming up.
while YouTube's going, I can run it for like 6 hours. So I'm just sitting here YouTubing like, shit, this doesn't work anymore. I got
Some of the worst feelings I had in college were like Sundays after like a hard weekend of partying, and I'm just staying up, and then I see the sun rising.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, is that the sun?
That's what's happening to me right now, dude.
That's not just city glow. That's the sun.
It's
I fucked up. I have class today.
I have class. I have shit to do. I didn't do any of my homework. Oh my
Dude,
god,
dude,
I'm
what-
screwed.
I made a mistake.
What's been hitting me on Saturdays is I'll just be sitting there like, all right, I'm gonna get ready to sleep because I work tomorrow, and then that shit will happen to me because of my new laptop. I'll sit there and be like, I can't sleep. I have work at 6:30.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like I can't fall asleep.
See, I can't do that anymore. I can't pull up all-nighters because, like, I know the next day I'm just gonna sleep for 18 hours.
Yep. That's what happened to me like 2 days ago. I fell asleep at 9 p.m. and woke up at 4 p.m.
Shit.
I don't get those long sleeps. Like, even if I go to bed late and wake up, like, I got like 4 hours or something because I was like working on shit. No. I still, as the day went on, I still couldn't fall asleep. I still went to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and then woke up at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, because you haven't fucked your sleep schedule yet.
It's just like, I can't sleep for long periods. I
You're
can't
telling-
sleep past 7 hours. It's awful.
You're telling Raj that he hasn't fucked his sleep schedule, and I know his sleep schedule. It is fucked.
But I mean, like
It's like 3 a.m.
it hasn't gotten to the point where it's like a scatterbrain nightmare of like absolute madness.
Yeah.
At least it's reasonably consistent. You're just nocturnal for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though you don't work a night shift, you're still nocturnal.
My brain comes alive at like 10 o'clock. So even when I fell asleep on you at 10:30 yesterday, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry, John, we gotta call it. And then I tried to go back to sleep. No. I went to bed at 1.
No.
Couldn't fall asleep after that again. I was like, God, where did it go? Now I'm awake. Now I'm actually awake.
Yeah, right
John,
now,
you want to play Pillars again?
right now, my sharpest period is around midnight till like 4.
Dude, a crazy night for me is actually like 1 o'clock.
Jesus.
Except when I'm partying with the neighbors, and then I'll go like to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's wild.
when are we going to this party of theirs?
I don't know. They're probably having it today. He seems to have it pretty much every Friday. So we could head over there after the cast, man.
I don't know if I can today.
I'm already pretty wasted.
Well, not because I'm tired, but because I actually have to get up at like I have to go help my parents at like 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Dude,
Oh, that's
because
so
you-
early.
Yes.
That's awful. No. Can't do
Well,
it.
I usually get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning now.
Oh, really?
you don't
Yeah.
need sleep for 2 days, you know? You
Yeah,
can,
fuck that.
You can do double
I
all-nighters.
can stay up for a solid past 48 hours. Yeah, fuck it.
Stay up for like a week. Who
I mean, how
cares?
long was I out for when you guys were talking about math?
You were probably out for like a solid 3-4 minutes.
Wait, really?
Did you fall asleep?
I
I
literally
did.
look over and John was just like this, looking over, just like
Yeah, I blacked out. I full on
Wait,
blacked
you
out.
blacked out during
like his
the
eyes
podcast?
were drooped.
I blacked out during the podcast.
Yeah.
I blacked out too. I was,
Oh my god! Yes!
I blacked out staring at you blacking out.
Yeah! Oh my god! I was trying to stay awake looking at other people too to keep myself sharp, and that just blacked me out too.
Welcome to the Generic Lucky Shoe podcast.
We are professionals.
We're only 3/5 of our podcast is even conscious.
Oh my god, I'm so happy somebody else blacked out.
Yeah.
Are we really that boring?
apparently.
I'm
We
sorry.
give
I
up.
mean, I usually at least try to fake attention when you guys talk about math. I love this. I love this podcast right
Top
now.
quality.
I don't even know what's happening right now.
This is incredible.
I don't think we should post this.
No,
I'm
this
missing-
is great.
This is genuine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is real life right here. People
This is-
want.
I don't want real life.
I think this is the
Raj,
most.
this is YouTube, not corporate tube, alright?
Yeah.
This is real, genuine.
I don't want real and genuine. I want flowery and picture
I
perfect.
think this is the
Okay.
most unrestrained I've ever been on this entire podcast because I'm too fucking dead to even try.
Right, if we
Here,
want
drink your bourbon, John.
No, I'm not drinking bourbon.
if we want, yeah, you get
I want
so
more
fucked up
bourbon.
because you're so tight.
Yeah.
If we want
No,
to cut
I think
this out,
you're done for a little bit.
I could take half a cup.
You fell on the floor twice and had trouble standing up. No.
Hey, I recovered really easily.
To be fair,
No.
to be fair to May, when Marcus was trying to get me one of the bowls, he straight up almost hit the corner on the island just trying to.
I
look
did not
around.
drink at that point.
That was just your hand-eye coordination.
No, that was me. So I was like crouching down and looking at a cabinet
Mhm.
and looking for a bowl and like hunching over and looking in the cabinet because I'm a tall man and there's low cabinets where the bowls are.
And when you whip back, you just almost whipped your back so hard that you.
Well, and then I stood up and got lightheaded
I see.
because I think my legs were like crunched
Yeah. So should you
Yeah.
ever really be drinking then?
because I'm tall. Tall people can't drink. What kind of what is this country coming to?
Hey, John, you're short. Drink up.
No.
What is the most drunk you have ever been?
Most drunk I've ever been.
Well, let's go around. Let's hear everyone's most
Oh,
drunk.
Mine's
yes!
gonna be
We
boring.
need to start with Raj and come to me because I've had a lot. I've had a lot.
Wait a minute.
John was there for my most drunk. My most drunk was about almost most way through this semester. It was with CJ in that backyard and that thing.
Oh, that was really your most drunk?
That was my most.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
I got shit faced.
Yeah.
I was gone.
I think that might have been my most drunk too.
Like we started to walk around at like 1 a.m, and I'm pretty sure while we were walking, I was like screaming because I'm naturally loud and I was just like no restraint because I was drunk as shit in a residential neighborhood. So they probably like at 2 a.m. These people were all just hearing some Indian guy just like screaming out and laughing hysterically.
What were we playing? What game were we playing? Darts?
Oh, it was lawn darts.
Lawn darts, yeah.
Here's the game, and this is such a stupid idea, and the only way this made sense is because I was already like pretty wasted by the time we came up with this game. We took steel darts. We put a seltzer bottle or like a beer bottle like can at our feet, and we'd be in a circle. And what you try to do is you try to nail someone's like can with your dart. The steel-tipped dart, and wherever it hit, you drank until you went to the hole. So if you got it at the very bottom, they drank. You shotgun the whole thing. If you got it at the top, they had to shotgun it, but you just throw it. And if it punctured, wherever it punctured, that's where you had to drink to.
Yeah, if it hits the tab, like where it opens, you have to chug the whole
It's
thing.
near their feet.
It was right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
reminds me of there's this knife game. It's a throwing knife game, and you throw it near the person's foot, and then they need to step to it, grab the knife. But then you're supposed to throw it away from their feet, somewhat, because they need to step to it, and whoever can't step to the knife last loses. You know.
So yeah, it was a very dumb idea. I'm surprised someone didn't get injured, especially
Yeah.
with how drunk we were. And by about 5 o'clock in the morning, I was at home, and my dad was keeping me company, and I kept saying, I don't want to be drunk anymore. This absolutely blows.
Yeah, it's the thing. Once you drink too much, you gotta wait it out.
Yeah,
There's
it
no
wasn't-
other way.
It wasn't like I got to the point where I'm like, it's no longer fun being drunk. This is just not fun. I don't want to do this.
There's a
anymore.
threshold. I always go one shot over the threshold. I just can't not. I don't know why. Once I'm drunk, I'm always like, I just want to feel a little bit better. And I do one more shot, and then I start like feeling queasy in the stomach,
Yeah.
and I get a headache. I'm like, that's one shot too much. If I'd stopped one shot earlier, I would have been fine.
Well, I tore down the freaking bathroom thing because I fell.
Oh no.
That was fun. I was able to hang it back up, but still, like, the entire thing crashed.
Oh my god, I hate it when that happens. I remember being so drunk in my room that I couldn't put it back on. And I was taking a shower while I was doing it.
I know John's drunkest.
Yeah, I just remembered it. It was at the neighbor's party that Marcus was at. When we went there, the neighbors just kept refilling our cups. I remember very distinctly saying, "No, I'm good," and then he just looked at me and went, "Come on," and then he refilled it up.
I
And
left
then-
early, so I missed all of that.
Yeah, so then, but as I kept drinking, we were playing all sorts of different games, having just completely random conversations about how the South is like nicer than like the rest of the entire country or something like that.
Is it true?
She was bringing up how like they always
They're
bring up their
pretty nice.
sirs and their ma'ams and that stuff like it's basically drilled into
I just
them.
do that anyway now.
I don't do that at all.
They're pretty nice down there. Like, it feels like they would invite you into their house if you were just passing by. Like, they're pretty damn nice in this house.
Yeah. So then like, and we were playing all sorts of games. And I remember at one point while we were playing spoons, you're like supposed to like, once you get some kind of card number, you're supposed to lunge for your spoons or something. I remember it got to the point where in my head, like I was just laughing hysterically, like in my head the whole time. And I looked over to Marcus and I said, I think I've gotten to the point where somebody could literally do fucking anything and I would die laughing.
I remember you saying, so this is why people get drunk. I finally get it now. And you
like,
also discovered your glorious Asian glow.
Yeah. I was like crimson red apparently.
You radiate, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, legit, 2 sips and he was red.
He's luminescent. Dude.
He gets it real bad.
And then like, oh my god, that's when that's when I got my first hangover too. Because what was it? I fell asleep on the couch here, but then there's a porch, there's a deck door in front of us, and that is angled directly to where the sun rises.
Yup,
So
it is. It's
I
really
fell
annoying.
asleep with my head facing this way, and I just saw Jesus approach me at like 6 a.m.
I'm
light
judging
shining
you.
directly into my goddamn eyes.
This is what you get for getting
And
drunk.
then I just
you
woke
bitch.
up. I'm like, okay, I'm awake. And then I got up and I heard like some stuff happening upstairs. So like I tried to get up. I still felt okay. Moment I started walking up the stairs, I realized I have a hangover. And then I went downstairs, curled up into like the fetal position in a ball. It just this burning headache. It just was like, all right, just count until you black out. And then that's what I did.
That was the night that I had a drink. I set it down because we were going to play a card game. We were going to play spoons.
Yeah, yeah.
So I set it down.
I know this one.
And he came over and handed me a drink. And I was like, I already have a drink. And then I was like double fisting for the rest of the night. Just straight booze.
They were so disciplined of constantly refilling it. They kept refilling it over and over again. And I just was sitting here like, all right, John, you're going to like stop. You're just going to keep hiding these cups. All right? You're just going to stop
And
drinking.
that's what I did. I just put mine on top of the fridge.
Yeah, because like they were really hardcore with the whole refilling thing.
Yeah, he's one of the most hospitable people that I know on this planet.
They are very friendly people.
Yeah, because the way that I met them, I was walking my dog at
Mhm.
night, and he was like literally, they were having parties, so their kids came and were like, hey, how's your dog? I want to pet your dog. So I let their kids pet my dog, and then the dad came out, and he was like, hey, you want to come in and have a beer, play some cards? I was like, shocked, because nobody does that in the suburbs
They
of
don't.
Minnesofucking
They
soda.
really don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, let's go and play some cards. So, yeah.
Just playing a bunch of random drinking games in the garage.
It was so weird. It was really cool, though.
I don't. I've never been in an environment like that ever. So
I brought him to a frat party once. He hated it. You absolutely despised
you did not
it.
bring me to a frat
Yeah, I
party
did.
once. You did?
Yeah.
I don't remember this shit.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, I brought you.
Are you sure you're
I
not
brought
talking about
you
somebody else?
and I brought Peter. I brought both of you once.
I don't remember this shit, dude.
On a different occasion. Peter wasn't with us that time, but I did remember bringing you. You came.
Raj, I think you're mixing me up with somebody else.
No, I
I'm
only brought you and Peter. That's the only 2 people I brought.
Why do I have no recollection of this?
May, drunk stories.
Yes, go man.
Yes.
Is it when you did Molly?
I swear to God, you beat somebody else.
Oh, what?
I don't. I've only
What,
met 2
Molly?
people.
Stop.
Sorry.
No.
It's not really much of a story. I just remember going to a work party, going to one of the breweries, getting really drunk, 10 beers in. I hit on my office manager several times.
Nice.
And yeah, pretty much just blacked out.
Was she hot?
Yeah, she was pretty hot, yeah.
Be-
There we go.
I just remember just like throwing a pass at her and immediately doing that. I would just wince away saying, nope, don't you make your move on me. You have a fiance, you dirty whore.
When you're the one that made the move?
Yeah.
But she's the whore?
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I love it.
Nope, don't you make your moves on me. You are a good person, and I am not. I am a bad person for doing this.
I'm bad for you.
Yeah.
Look, if he really loved me, he wouldn't have cheated on me in my dream, okay? If he really loved me, that just wouldn't have happened, okay?
There was another time where I
Whoa.
was
I'm
like,
just.
I was like really depressed in my room. So I think I had like a half a bottle of like what was it called, Captain Morgan.
No, worst thing to know.
Yeah, like half of that rum. I just
Had
chugged
rum,
that
awesome.
entire thing. And basically, I was acting like a literal zombie for the entire night, and it was raining as well. And I decided to go outside in like midnight, just prowling around the fields in the backyard and literally stalking my roommates around the house. Like I remember just like in like brush. I was lying down in like the cold, wet brush, and then there were like my roommates were like on the deck, like they had the lights on as well. Mm-hmm. So I was like literally hiding. Just like, don't see me, I want to eat you, don't see me.
What?
Yeah, I was just like putting my head down and just like snarling like a zombie. And then like, I remember climbing a tree and just literally hissing at my roommate's window. Like, so I was like,
was this just alcohol?
Yeah, alcohol.
Just alcohol.
Yeah, and I fell out of the tree.
Nothing funny. Not like acid or.
No, it was just alcohol. I was a literal zombie.
Yeah, you a freak.
Yeah,
I don't know.
May.
But I tried like. Oh.
This, kids, is why you don't drink when you're depressed. Okay?
Yeah,
you never
exactly.
do that.
May.
This is the kind of story you hear about bath salts.
Yeah. This is like the carbon copy 1980s health class fear of what happens when you drink too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I tried like wandering outside the block.
Literal
then, like,
gremlin.
Yeah, I tried like leaving the block, but then I was just like these like words popped up in my mind saying, "Access denied. This area is not available at this time." So I just walked away.
Is this why you feel like life is just Mass Effect?
Or any video game, yeah.
Life is a simulation, bro. Confirmed.
Yeah.
You just need to be drunk enough to see it.
May's opened her third eye.
Exactly.
Never drink while you're depressed. That's like the worst thing to do. Do you remember my ex calling us while we were in Duluth? Remember when I was visiting in Duluth and she kept calling while she was drunk?
Yeah, drunk calling your exes.
That was real bad.
That's classic.
I drunk texted my cat.
I'm pretty sure she friend requested me on Discord.
You drunk ex.
I've almost searched it.
What was the name?
Puma.
Oh no! Wait, don't say the full name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Blink that out.
Yeah, blink that out.
I'm not sure we can hear it.
What's up?
I'm not sure we can hear
Well,
it.
if they can, we're blinking that out because I don't want to. But
blank
no, that's awful.
Yeah.
Wait, she tried to go through you to get to him?
No. She hates me at this point.
That's fair.
She hates me at this point.
No, just I think she friend requested.
It's probably for the best.
It's absolutely for the best. She turned very weird when we broke up. Like,
yeah.
I could recommend her and she was fine. Like after we broke up, like yeah, she was a fine person, but then she started doing some very things that I didn't think was good or cool. So I was like, oh, you do you, sister.
Matt.
You get wasted?
Feel pretty wasted now.
This is your work?
I've never seen you wasted before.
2 like half cups of bourbon.
You can still count. It's not close enough.
Yeah, you clearly need more, man.
Yeah.
No, give me more, bitch.
No, you're fine.
You are cut off.
You're
May.
fine.
I'm being like my neighbor.
You're gonna start hitting on Ranger at some point. You keep drinking May.
Dude, I've only had I don't feel anything.
Is this your most, man?
I don't know about that. Most drunk I felt is after drinking like 2 White Russians.
Good.
With a drink about this size filled up to the brim. Within like an hour, I slept for like 14 hours.
That's good.
That's a good level of
Sleep
drunk.
through the hangover.
That's the kind of drunk that you're just like, you just want to be chill. You know? That's a good level drunk.
I just remember going to bed at like 1 a.m., waking up at like, it was 3 p.m. or something.
Holy shit. That's legendary.
Hangover? Nah, man. I got all that out. I'm ready to go.
That's like what I wish I could do.
I know.
You
I
know?
can't do that.
God, I have too many. Like, I honestly don't know how to pick which one was my most. I've only blacked out once, but I'm not sure if that was my most or not. Because the only reason I blacked out is because my friend was like, "Here, take this caffeine," because I was like, "I want to go to bed. I'm tired." Like, I drove to Madison, and I was like, "I literally drove to Madison today. I'm tired. I want to go to bed." And he's
Was
like,
this
"No,
Austin?
bro, we're gonna party." Yeah, it's Austin.
Of course it was.
And he was like, "No, bro, we're gonna party." And he handed me this caffeine pill and a goddamn shot of vodka.
Oh my god.
This is Austin. Jesus.
And I was like, Good point.
That's
And I just,
How much caffeine?
it was a caffeine pill.
So it's like 200 milligrams.
Probably something.
Yeah, that sounds
I don't
about
know.
right.
And then I had like a bunch of energy drink
Oh.
mixers and shit. Like
Oh man.
I've never mixed caffeine and alcohol before. I'm convinced that's how you black out. Like that's probably the best way to black out.
Well,
is
it's
Four
a high
Loko.
and a low real quick, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. Because
Yeah.
caffeine gives you a super high and then a really
your
hard
brain
crash.
just stops
Yeah.
at a certain point,
Yeah.
but your body, it just keeps on chugging, man.
Weird, because I do that all the time.
But
You
yeah,
can get used to it. That's the thing. You
That's
can build a
true,
tolerance.
too,
You
yeah.
can get used to it. But if you're not used to it and it's your first time doing it,
we went to a
Yeah.
party, and then someone gave me a bottle of Jack Daniels and was like, "Here, bro, this is your bottle." And I was like, "Thanks, man. I love you." I remember finishing about a quarter of that bottle. Then my memory's gone. But I woke up and apparently Austin goddamn abandoned me.
classic Austin.
So
Classic Austin.
I have hours of unaccounted for time in Madison in my life where nobody knows where I was or what I was doing. But somehow I ended up at a restaurant where Austin was with his friends, and then my time was reaccounted for. And we went back to apartment and I slept.
I've never been blackout drunk. I've never had that, and I kind of want to have that experience just once with people who are close, who can account for what the hell I'm doing. So
Oh,
when I wake
man.
up, it's just like, okay, what the hell did I do, right?
I probably
Really?
robbed a fucking bank, dude. I don't know.
I'm almost certain you blacked out at a frat party because I have never been to a frat party with you ever.
The sad part is that I woke up without the bottle of Jack.
No!
I lost it on the way.
The true mystery: what happened to the Jack?
I think you ate the bottle or something.
Honestly,
Probably.
are you sure you're not digesting it still to this day?
We
man.
just one day he needs to go in for an X-ray. The nurse X-rays, and I was like, "The fuck is this bottle doing here? How have you survived this long?"
Everyone's
bottle!
when this is super random, but I've always had the sensation since I was a kid, and I never get to ask a lot of people. When you fall asleep, is there some time like when you're just laying down and just about to go to bed? Is there some times where you get a sensation where you can't breathe?
No.
Does that happen to
Yeah,
any of you?
that happens,
That happens
to
to
me.
you?
Yeah,
And like you're just standing frozen or something, you can't move?
No,
or
usually when I'm breathing, okay, like I'm asleep, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like, I don't know, it's like some thought or some, like, physical feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yes!
like that.
Yes, that exactly happens to me
Yeah.
all the fucking time. I'll just be laying there and all of a sudden be like, why
Is
can't I move? Why does it feel like I can't breathe?
What's it called when you...
Enunciate.
No, what's it called when you stop breathing in your sleep?
Apnea.
Apnea. Sleep. Is that like sleep apnea, maybe?
have
It's like kind of, but it doesn't feel like anything's constricting my breathing. I just gasp. It just feels like,
And it's when you're falling asleep, not when, like, the middle of your sleep.
yeah, just falling asleep.
Yeah,
weird.
It's when I'm just laying there. I'll be like just laying normally, and all of a sudden, my body feels like it can't easily move,
Sounds
like at all.
like sleep apnea, but not.
And then it feels like I'm suffocating. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I need to try to breathe, but I can't breathe,
That's wild.
and my body's seizing up, and I can't move. And it's always like this moment where I finally can move, and then I breathe again, and I go back.
Shit, I thought I was the only one in the world.
Oh
who
my
experienced
God.
that. Yeah! It all started when I started doing this.
Okay, no, my shit's been happening since I was a kid. But-
Oh.
Maybe you should stop.
Yeah, maybe
with the
you should not
nicotine.
doing vape.
Yeah, like, it's hard, and I don't feel like quitting.
the struggle is
Putting
real.
heavy metals in your lungs.
Yeah, that's not good.
I have a hard job, okay?
I get the existential dread that every night that I go to sleep, sometimes I get the existential dread that every night you go to sleep, you die. And when you wake up, you're actually just a completely different person with like new memories.
Oh Jesus!
And you wouldn't know.
Oh
You've
my-
been the same for me each time, so, you know.
As far as you know.
As far as I know, you're basically the same.
Unless everyone dies every night.
Yeah, you're just replicating yourself.
That
every
would
night.
be real freaky if everyone's dying. Oh god, this is
I-
such a stupid conversation.
I like to think that every time you journal, it's actually a save point.
I've never journaled.
Wait,
so
does,
you know
that
what?
means I'm fucked
Dude,
when I
you're-
die.
You're doing on the no save run.
Yeah, we're doing it, John. We're
The
hardcore.
permadeath run.
Does that mean writing anything about a single day whatsoever? Is
Yeah.
that count as writing in a journal?
Summarizing your day.
Summarize my day? Okay, I've done it before.
Yeah, then you
I
save.
have.
The last time I did it was like, oh shit, that was the last time I saved was probably like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
You
and if
better
you
not
died,
die.
and if
You want to
di-
die and go back to undergrad?
Fuck no.
Yeah,
Journal.
save now. You gotta do it. But who knows? A plane could fall, crash the ceiling, and kill us.
God.
And then I would just be here. I would still be alive only yesterday, and you would be back in high school.
Wait, how long do you think high school was?
4 years.
It's been like
Wait,
6.
you said how long it was? Like how long is high school?
how long
How
has
long
it been?
have you been? How long has it been since we've been in high school?
What? It's like 6 years or something.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years. He wrote in his journal 3 years ago.
Yeah, so I just
He's
be
an
in
undergrad.
college.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm drunk, so I'm not listening
Yeah,
to
it's
half
no
the things
problem.
you guys
Math
are
is
saying.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very hard.
Numbers are extremely hard.
I just can't sleep, so
It's
I
been
don't
like-
know.
So I was in college for 5 years. I've been
Yep.
working for 1 year, so it's 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's 6 years ago. Yes,
That's when we graduated high school.
because we both graduated after 5 years. We both took 5 years to get through college.
Yeah, like nerds.
Yeah. Matt, did you take 4 years or 5 years?
5.
Yeah, all STEM people take 5 years nowadays.
It's
It's common.
not financially worth it. Changed my mind.
May not be, honestly.
I'm like, the more I look into it, the more convinced I'm. Like, I'm still glad I went to college because I enjoyed college and it was a good experience for me. But if you're going to college for the money, don't go to college.
It might not be worth it. On the other hand, if Marcus is saying this shit, but if he gets his PhD, do you know how much a PhD in electrical engineering makes you? Makes you get like $130,000, $140,000.
Just for being like a professor,
Yeah.
Wow. That's
not even doing a real job.
That's a lot of money.
Do you know how much a psychologist gets?
How much?
Like 80, 90K.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh. We'll just have
Good times.
just do more STEM, you nerd.
Although
I'm trying to.
Although if you don't go to college and get a trade, even something like a plumber makes $80K a year
Mm-hmm.
on average. That's average. If you're a good plumber, you can probably make $100K.
A friend of ours named CJ. He does elevator stuff, and he makes like what? He makes like 6 figures. He was
Probably.
easily making like almost 6 figures. I think in his apprenticeship, I'm pretty sure he makes 6 figures.
And you
now.
could do that after. You probably don't even need an associate's degree. You probably don't even need to go to a trade school. You could probably just apprentice with someone.
Yeah, he does it. Well, I think he went to a trade school for a little bit, but yeah, he just apprenticed. And to get it, I mean, he bought a house already.
And
Like him himself, he bought a house
Let's
already.
assume you go to a trade school, right? That's 2 years, and you can get your GED when you're 16 and go to a trade school. So at 16, by 18, you could have your degree and start making $80K a year,
Yeah.
which is more than I make now after having a 4-year degree.
Yeah, but your job is a little weird.
And you don't. Okay, so maybe I'd make 70 to 75K.
75K. Let's say 75K.
Still less than a goddamn plumber who started when they're 18 and didn't go into massive debt, which I'm lucky I didn't go into massive debt. But most people that go to college go into massive debt.
Yeah.
And they pay interest on that debt.
Yeah, they do.
Whereas the person that went into being a plumber didn't have debt or had way less debt because trade schools are also a lot cheaper and only 2 years. So possibly no debt or at least way, way less debt. And they could probably start investing. So while everyone else is losing money paying for school and then paying interest on their debts, the people that didn't go to college are making interest on their investments for all 4 of those years.
The only thing I can say against that is, one, you have a higher cap, I think. Like, depending on the trade school, it's probably comparable. There's certain trade schools that are probably 6 figures, but I'm assuming that for a lot of different jobs, an electrical engineer will eventually have a higher cap
Eventually.
over time.
Eventually.
So eventually you'll do it. And 2, I'm pretty sure it's a lot easier to like retain your job, like to do it when you're like in your mid to late 60s if you really wanted to, than to like be a plumber in your 60s. So
depending on the job. For a plumber, it's not as physically intensive, but for like a carpenter, yeah, you're probably done by 40.
I'm pretty sure being a like even 60, it's like unless you keep yourself in good shape, if you like screw something up, it'd be very difficult to like.
Well, yeah, we're talking about someone of similar level of conscientiousness in life.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just as conscientious as you are right now, and you keep very good care of your body,
Yeah.
you know, you're a reasonable person.
Yeah. Then I don't know. Maybe like I don't know. You could like I know professors.
You could probably make it to 50, and 60 is retirement. So you're only 10 years, and you probably made a decent amount of money.
If we go with you in the professor route for electrical engineering, so PhD in electrical engineering, you could easily be 80 and do that job. It's fucking easy.
That's true.
Like well, they say professor's a really super hard job. I've given from my own experience and from experience of some professors I've talked to. One in particular who said, "Look, there's a reason that all these people are still around for this long."
Once you get 4 or 5 years of experience in any career, you can start branching out into management, and you could. So if you have your own company for like a while, or you work as an employee, you start moving into management.
Yeah.
Once you get into management, you have experience in management, and then you can cross fields too.
To the easier life of not having to be on the ground doing
I'm
it.
not sure, man. I think if you're smart and capable, you can really make a trade degree work for you.
I'm
real
not
good.
saying you can't. I am absolutely on board with the trade idea of you can
Yeah.
do it. I'm just saying there are possibilities for
Mhm.
like. I'm trying to give arguments for the other side, saying like, okay,
Yeah.
but maybe this. But
If
like,
you fuck it up, you fuck it up. But if you fuck your life up, you kind of just fuck your life up.
do like honestly, if you want
You
to do
can
a
fuck
trade
anything
school,
up.
if you want to do a trade school, do a trade school.
Do it, man.
Just do
But
it.
don't take 5 years to complete your degree like me, because I am $20,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. And I'm only
Although-
making $15 an hour right now.
Although that's not the worst debt. 20K is not that bad when you consider some
27K.
colleges. And 27 isn't that bad.
It's
Okay,
really
good.
not.
no,
Oh, thank God.
You can easily get 20,000 in debt a
a
year.
year.
Like
A year of debt.
my tuition was pretty damn bad,
You
so
can-
yeah, it's not too hard to get some crazy debt. I
You can
thank
be-
God my parents and relatives.
He also
helped me
went to
out.
Iowa State, which
But,
was a
like-
very nice. It was a very low cost.
Yeah, and it
comparison.
can fuck you up
You
still
can
easily.
be way over
annually.
100,000 in debt. Easily.
Do you
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
much?
Easily over 100,000.
So I got admission to UC Davis when I was in
Easily.
my senior year. I got admission to UC Davis, and it was like, do you know how much money it cost to go there a year? Like I calculated it for the full 4 years. It was like $200,000.
It's insane.
It's like,
not worth
yeah,
it.
it's a good college, but like,
There's no way it's worth it.
and it's in California.
And not even so then living costs,
Living costs,
living
and,
expenses, which
and I'm
are
all the way
calculated
across the
into
country.
it.
So if I fuck up, my parents can't help me.
Yeah, and also
There's no way.
even more significant thing is that like if you don't chip out on equipment or furniture
Or food.
or living expenses or the textbooks especially, that
Oh, yeah.
exponentially increases. If you don't get federal aid whatsoever, then that
Which I
price
didn't.
also increases from the tuition costs and that type of shit. And all of a sudden, it becomes well over 260,000.
And also keep in mind some of the like top earning CEOs also didn't have very good grades in college. And they actually are like, oh, don't study in college. That's a waste of time. What you do in college is you network and you do business.
Oh yeah,
in
for
college.
businesses, you just network. You
Well, even for
absolutely-
engineering degrees, like Elon Musk, he didn't care as much about his academics in college. He focused on the business.
yeah,
And Zuckerberg as well. Like
Well-
the people that actually make a decent amount of money, people that run businesses don't care about school.
no, they don't. They care about the people because it's the people you meet, it's the people
Mm-hmm.
you interact with. Like, I don't give a shit about running a business. I just want to
Well, and the people that do the work
do studies.
don't get the money.
Like,
The employees don't get the money. The people that run businesses get the money.
I make no illusions to if or when I get a PhD, I'm going to be making money.
You get enough to be the middle class, you know, and be
I'm gonna do
comfortable enough.
consulting. I'll just do consulting and like
Yeah.
I'll make money that way. But
Then
like,
you're your own. Again, you're an entrepreneur.
yeah,
if you're
I'm
consulting,
an
though.
entrepreneur that way. But like actually making money from doing like school at a university,
Mhm.
not much. Like 80K, which given the fact that I have a PhD and I'm like 30
Yeah.
when I'm starting into the job market.
I'm
it's
also
not
very
much.
fortunate that I can live very comfortably without spending a lot. So I don't really need a lot of money.
Yeah, and you can put a lot of it into investments. Like I told my parents
Yeah.
how much you put into investments, they were very proud of you.
Yeah, I live pretty frugally, and I'm very happy living frugally. Like, I spend most of my money. I spend most of my money on room and board, obviously.
Yeah,
that's expensive just to live.
It
Outside
is.
of room and board, what I spend most of my money on is like hobbies where I do stuff, but even that doesn't cost very much. Like, I bought a saw to do some like put the sound panels up, and that was like $60 because I needed to cut little pieces of plywood to put behind the sound panels. But like,
That's not much. It's not bad.
no, saws are cheap. I love, man. You go like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, and you look at the saws. They range from like the battery powered saws that contractors use because they go to job sites where they don't have plugins, right? That makes sense. You need a battery powered saw for that. Those are like $300, $400 for their fucking saws. And then you get the skill saw, which is a corded saw. It works beautifully. It's like $60.
Save big money at Menards.
Dude, I like Menards. I didn't used to like Menards, and then I saw their lumber section, and they got good wood. I've inspected a lot of wood in my life.
There's some
Menards got some good wood.
serious wood.
Yeah, wood. You got wood.
They got an outdoor lumber section.
I'm surprised
Hot.
they didn't fire me when I worked there.
Oh yeah, you worked at Menards.
I did work at Menards.
Dude, you have to work very hard to get fired at those type of places.
Dude, I was at the front. Like, I would like, you know how they would say, like, always smile, always be appreciable to customers and stuff. A couple times I got really annoyed and I just would not talk. Like, I would not say a word. If they said, like, where would I put, like, credit or something, I would just point. I just stopped all communication whatsoever besides pointing.
But you still did it, though. You pointed.
Yeah, I pointed, but I didn't, like, do it. And a
Bro.
couple times I did insult a customer.
In Target, dude.
I did, in fact, go, wow, you're not very bright, are you?
Dude, in Target, dude, like, there's just absolutely ridiculous people there. Like, there's no way they're gonna fire you from doing that type of shit. They basically conscript high schoolers during the seasonal era, and you just get a whole bunch of teenagers that are literally like sitting in the corner just on their fucking phone in the cafeteria during their shift while they're supposed to be doing stuff, and like they have to have people go up to them and be like, "Hey, you gotta like work."
You know what?
No, I actually did my work. I just
Exactly.
stopped talking.
That's
to
what
the
I'm saying.
customer 'cause-
I've seen so much shittier.
You know what fucks me up?
Huh.
Going back to how expensive college is.
Oh no.
Target starts you at $15 an hour now in
Yeah, they
Minnesota.
do.
Yeah.
$15 an hour
Yeah.
Oh my god.
is starting at Target.
Yeah,
That's
and
as
then
much as I make!
and
Yes, that is as much as you make.
what is it? My current what is it at Emerson right now? I believe if you have any form of industrial knowledge whatsoever, you can start at like 1829.
Okay. Starting at Target,
Mhm.
you make about $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
As a teacher, if you teach at a public school, you can make $30,000 a year,
Hmm.
but that requires an education degree, which generally takes even more than 4 years.
Basically, every single job
Does
had
it?
like an
It's basically a double major in whatever. If you're specializing in,
Oh, if you're specialized.
education, yeah,
if
absolutely.
you're like social studies education, if you're general education, you can get it done in 4.
Yeah.
But if you're like social studies education, it's going to be 5 because you basically are a double major.
Yeah, if you're L-Ed, it's its own little kid thing. If you're doing like, if you want to like teach high school or some shit, you have to get said degree and then still go through the teacher's program, which is essentially like a very strong minor or like another like a second degree.
The only thing I know is the math teacher degree, and I know that there was less restrictions on getting a math than a typical math major compared to a math teacher. But they still took a few classes. Like they had to take analysis. They just had to pass it. They just had to get a D and get the hell out. But they still had to take it. So
but it's still
for-
about 5 years.
Yeah, like
Just
for,
in terms of pure credits.
yeah, for me,
And you need to do like trial runs at a school, you know?
yeah, you do. You need to do that.
that shit is, if you don't plan that shit out, you could easily spend another year.
Yeah, you can.
Because you
It's
have to
bad.
do observations, then you have to pass a test in order to qualify for the next like branch stage of education stuff.
So that means you're starting 5 years behind someone that worked at Target.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would probably already be in the management.
And you're
position.
probably if you go to Target, you're absolutely going to get promoted faster than you're going to get as a teacher.
And
being
like
a
I
teacher.
said, once you get to management, especially
Literally?
like corporate management, if you can manage to get past and get into like regional or corporate management, it starts branching out, and you can go into other industries.
I think 3 of my executive team leads, managers, they call them team leads for some reason.
No, that's common now across all stores.
The managers that I had, I think one was physical ed, another one was biology, and one was ag.
Jesus.
Like they give them management positions. Yeah.
It's wild.
I just kind of don't want to be in Target, so I do it.
I'm gonna go ask for a raise.
Yeah, $15 an hour is shit.
Yeah,
Especially in today's economy. It's not. It's like starting pay.
It's hardly. It's not a living wage.
It's not. It's
God
starting.
damn it.
It's starting paid.
That's not a.
I have
living
a
wage.
crew lead that makes the same amount as me, and I'm new. That makes no sense.
That's horrible. That means you're not going to scale.
Yeah, that means you're not.
Yeah, she's in charge of at least 4 other people. She drives truck and trailer. She has to arrive an hour before everybody else, and usually stay an hour or 2 longer after work to get all the invoices done and the hours and shit. And she makes the same as me. Makes no fucking sense.
It means it's fixed, right?
Yeah, it means
You're not going to scale.
you're not going to go anywhere. This is your rate.
And it's like,
That sucks.
I just learned that I should not trust any company that tells me, oh yeah, well, the starting wage is like 15, 16 an hour, but you know, as you know, the first few weeks that'll be your wage, but then we'll talk about it and we'll increase your wage. I no longer trust any company that tells me that, because this is the second time that they fucked me.
It's not real. No, it's. I was told that I could expect an average of 8% raise a year, like an average. I've talked to people at my company. That's the max that they've ever seen.
I think one of my coworkers got like a literal like 5-cent raise or something like that.
Yeah.
Like 10 cents or some garbage like that.
Jesus.
And I think we might need to call it a night because we're past the point of no return. So
All right, sounds good.
I think we're
Thank
good
you
for
for our
tonight.
absolutely shit show of a podcast.
Bye.
Please don't watch this. I
Yes.
look awful.
I'm blown away to anybody who's still here.
Yeah, don't. Just get the hell out
Yeah.
or leave.
Hi, Sam. I know you're a favorite
Oh,
fan.
hi Sam.
Bye.
And anyone else,
I
go
hope I did
kill
you
yourselves
proud.
or whatever.
We do not condone that statement.